What's up, Cole team? Welcome to episode 11 of the Hustle and Harmony podcast. I'm Julia.
And I'm Emily.
I just really want to thank y'all so much for being here. This is episode 11. Y'all made it through the whole first 10, and we did do a really cool giveaway after episode 10. If y'all listened to the last one, you'd know, but we're going to have everything posted on Instagram. So go look back at our Instagram at Hustle and Harmony Pod, and you'll be able to find out who won.
The giveaway included a Theragun, a signed copy of my book, The Player's Plate, and a signed Julia Cole t-shirt. So we're so excited to announce the winner today and just so grateful for each and every single one of you and to do more giveaways in the future.
Let's dive in. How you feeling today, Emily?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm honestly so excited to talk about what we're talking about today because
it's a big topic.
I've spent a lot of time on this in the last 2 years and a lot of brain power on it. And our topic for episode 11 is going to be fashion and how to use fashion to make you feel confident and achieve your objectives for whatever your goals for the day are and goals for life are, because it's so much more than just getting dressed.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked a lot about this, but where do you kind of stand right now in your fashion relationship?
I am still figuring out what I want my fashion to be. I definitely think that I just graduated from being a student athlete for 5 years and 85% of my wardrobe just said Duke on it and was assigned of what exactly I had to wear.
And looked cute.
For every single day. And that's honestly sometimes a blessing in itself, is having a uniform so you don't have to decide. It takes away that decision you have to make in the morning. But now that I've graduated and I'm not going to be wearing Duke clothes for the majority of my life,
every single day,
I have to figure out what else I want to wear. And I think I'm landing on, I've always, been told, dress for the job you want, not the job that you have. And now that I've graduated, I'm not in college anymore. I definitely plan on being a professional athlete and still I'm going to have that sporty aspect to my style, but I want to mix it with an element of business casual as well because, I want to be able to have a corporate role at some point, and I'm not in college anymore. It's not, crop tops and shorts that everyone else is wearing on college campus. And it's kind of cool because it comes with an identity shift, but you also get to choose who you want to be.
It's so cool.
And who you want other people to view you as.
Yeah.
So dressing sort of business casual also, it's really fun. Like I had several teammates that loved to wear business slacks and didn't have to be like they were doing a presentation or going to a business meeting. They're just actually really comfortable and they look really nice.
Yeah.
So you can look nice and feel presentable and feel good about yourself without feeling like you have to for work or without it being uncomfortable as well.
Yeah. I totally agree with all of that. When you were saying that you wore the same outfit every day because it was your Duke uniform, that's amazing, because I know on a previous episode we talked about decision fatigue, and that's one less decision you have to make in the morning. And I know that there are massive successful billionaires who pride themselves on wearing the same outfit every day because they're like, this is one decision I don't have to make and I don't want to use my brain power on it. So it's like Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs, and there's like a whole list of men who...
Our sister Kristen.
No, she's actually starting to enjoy fashion. But I feel like she's on the same journey as us, where we all did that. We all had uniforms because that was us anytime we were in sports, was you wear your uniform all the time. And even when you're off the court, you're like, I'm proud to be a part of this team and I want people to know that's my brand. I look at fashion as a visual business card. And
I love that.
Like you said, dress for the job you want, not the job that you have. So right now, I had to make a decision of, do I dress in just the things that I find comfortable, which would be just like t-shirts, sweatpants, the athleisure that I grew up my entire life wearing, or do I dress for the job I want? And the job that I want is a professional country music career. And that's what I've been doing full time, but I haven't necessarily been dressing like it.
Yeah.
And over the last couple of years, I've really prioritized dressing for that job that I want, but combining it with the strategy of how do I eliminate my decision-making fatigue?
Yeah. How have you done that?
It's been really hard, but slowly but surely I'm learning a few different hacks. And one of the hacks that I learned was totally unintentional. One of my favorite things that's ever happened fashion-wise in my life is realizing how connected I could be to Poppy, my grandpa, our grandpa, who he passed away a couple of years ago on New Year's. I felt like I could stay so connected to him by wearing his old Western wear. And he gave me all of his old Western wear because I asked him if I could wear something of his for my Grand Ole Opry debut, which we did talk about on a different episode already. So when he gave me all of those pieces, it was interesting. Like something clicked in my head. I started working with my friend Kelly. Her company's called The Bluff Agency. I started working with her on how to bring all of my fashion loves together. And I remember one time we went shopping and we came back with all of these pieces that we were going to integrate Poppy's fabric into. But I had a whole category of athleisure with it. I was like, we're going to integrate this fabric into athleisure and also the pantsuits and the jeans and the country wear. Yeah, I had both because I was like, I'm sporty and this is going to be a part of my life. That's not the job I want. You know, I am not going to be a professional athlete. Yeah. I love athletics. I love sports. I love to be athletic and I stay involved with that as much as I can. Yeah. But that doesn't mean I need to be on my stage playing country music with J's on. Yeah. It's just not like, it's confusing and it's even confusing to me. I want to be authentic in what I'm doing. The reason I love having this fashion discussion is because it made me really dive into that and figure out who I am and what do I want to say.
Yeah. And it's so cool that you had a professional to help guide you through those questions and through that process.
And she let me have trial and error. So we did it. We put the fashion stuff with the athleisure.
That's so cool.
And then I slowly had it all hanging on my rack. And I just remember never picking that item up to wear it. And I was like, that's just not right. It doesn't fit what I want. I tried it. Cool. We did our due diligence. I'm not going to wonder one day, what if I could have figured out a way to like bind the two? Yeah. It just wasn't necessary.
It's been really cool for me to see how cohesive and even like storytelling your style has become. Because you're right, it is a business card. And the pieces you've put together with Poppy's fabric are so cute and stylish. And people will come up to you after your shows and be like, where can I get this? But it's custom. And I'm not saying everyone has to go get their own custom wardrobe, but it is good proof of it takes time and energy on the front hand to understand what it is that you want your business card to be based on what you're wearing. Yeah. And I've loved the way that yours has developed. And I'm definitely like looking to you and looking to learn a lot from you as I kind of go through this process myself.
Girl, don't learn the hard way. You can steal all of the tips and tricks because I wish that I would have known this when I was just out of college. That would have been so helpful. Because it was interesting, when I went from high school to college, it was this weird shift of I left Texas. I'm no longer under my parents' roof. You can do whatever you want fashion-wise. And obviously I wore a ton of Vanderbilt gear and I wore a bunch of volleyball gear. Yeah. But I didn't necessarily focus on what's the job that I want? How do I make this closet of mine match it? I really just didn't think about it at all. It was not a priority of mine. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't need to be for everyone. But if I had thought about it earlier, it would have just erased so much stress that I had picking outfits out. Having a planned wardrobe actually saves you more time. And I don't think I ever realized that I would just stress out about, I don't know what I want to wear and I don't want to put time into it. I'm frustrated about this. I'd rather just throw a t-shirt on and go. Yeah. But having the hacks of realizing you can have fashion, but building your closet to make it easy for you to quickly pick an outfit is probably the biggest hack I have for fashion. And now my closet's super organized with it. But one of the biggest pieces that I realized was having sets. Yep. So with Poppy's fabric, I wouldn't just put it on one item unless it was like a dress and that you wear alone. If I had, this one XL Western wear Southwestern print shirt, we'd use fabric from it for a belt, for shorts or jeans, for a jacket, for a type of shirt, maybe one that's a crop top and one that's a bandeau or something, whatever it is, like maybe two different styles. Yeah. And then I could mix and match the different items that even if I only wear the belt and the shirt with a different bottom, different shoes, whatever, those things still go together and make your outfit, as we've talked about in other episodes,
life so much easier.
The sandwich.
Yeah, the sandwich
your pieces. So if you
have we talked about that?
I don't know.
I don't
I'll
think
let
we
you
have.
give the sandwich speech.
Yeah, so basically it was like a revelation that we had on my team this year. One of my teammates, Charlotte, I love her to death. She taught us about the sandwich method, but it was really funny because she was like, it doesn't count if it's white. So basically sandwiching is where you have your outfit like top and bottom match. So it's a sandwich method. The top and bottom are the same color. So like your shirt and your shoes.
Yeah.
And so white shirt, white shoes is a classic one that people do all the time and obviously without realizing, but it's kind of a fashion hack that a lot of people in the fashion industry are like, oh, duh, like we already knew that. But people who know nothing about fashion, it's really revelational because if you have a pair of red shoes, you realize all I have to do is put on a red shirt.
Or like if you don't want to wear a red shirt, it's have the red purse or the red earrings. But the sandwich method of bringing that pop color to where your eyes are looking in two different places and it makes the whole rest of your outfit cohesive
exactly.
is a really easy hack for I don't want to think about everything else. And I know that I can make something look cohesive with just two pops, two staples. So I've been doing that. Like even with obviously I have all of the poppy wear, but I don't have enough of that fabric to make it every outfit I wear for my entire life.
Right.
So the other things that I've done are matching and putting together sets of, I know if I wear a certain pair of shoes, what belt is going to go with it and what purse is going to go with it with pretty much all my shoes. And kind of the same thing goes with if I'm wearing like a light pair of blue jeans, I know what colors of shirts go with the light pair of blue jeans versus the dark pair of blue jeans. And you can still do the sandwich method with like the shoes with the shirt or the shoes with the belt. And it simplifies your outfit choices significantly. And when I got my closet rebuilt a few months ago, probably 4 months ago or something like that. This was one of my post-breakup clean house things. I was like, I'm going to redo my whole condo and make this place beautiful. And redoing my closet gave me the opportunity to take all the clothes out of my closet and re-put them back in there. And when I did this, I put all of my hangers backwards.
This is such a smart tip.
So I could tell a year from now, what items did I not touch at all? Because if it hasn't been flipped around, I didn't even consider it for an outfit. And I'm positive that's going to happen. It's going to be a lot of hangers that weren't flipped around.
Yeah, for the whole year.
For the whole year. And you don't think about that when you're, going through your winter clothes and your summer clothes. You're like, you just pack it away and then you put it back up. I'm really trying to be intentional about cleaning my space out. And when something isn't, I obviously don't love it if I haven't worn it.
Yeah.
Or if I go through it and I realize maybe halfway through the year, I'll go through and look at all the ones that aren't turned and either make it an intentional effort, like if I to wear the item, but if I don't wear this item, then I must not actually love it. And it must just not make me feel good when I look in the mirror, when I put it on. So
in which case it doesn't need to be taking up space in your closet.
It doesn't need to be taking up space in your life.
Yeah. Especially for someone like you who is performing all the time.
Yeah.
And it's so much more actually important for you to try and not repeat the exact same outfit over and over again. Whereas it's really not that big of a deal if I do. And I think that's something that it's been cool to watch you navigate because you have to have so many clothes and like kind of go through clothes a lot, which is great for the hand-me-downs. Let me tell y'all, the hand-me-downs have been great since like 7th grade.
That's
I have loved having you as my older sister.
You're welcome. Take it.
Literally, I come to Nashville and she's like, oh, here's my clothes that I'm not wearing anymore. And I'm like, yes.
It's like 2 big trash bags full of clothes.
Literally, it's massive. So yeah, thanks for that, sis. But it's a lot to try and a lot of people don't have a lot of closet space either, especially if you're in college or in an apartment, like in the city, especially. And so it's hard to make sure that you kind of have a variety in your wardrobe without having a bajillion clothes and then forget that half of them even exist. I think that's another big tip that I definitely follow is kind of figuring out what your color palette is and getting solids that are easy to mix together. Like you can get one fun piece for whatever outfit and then you can piece together your other solids that you have. When we were talking about the sandwich method, the thing I was thinking about was it's also a factor for your hair. Like
that's
our
so true.
Hair sandwiches. If we wear tan shoes, it sandwiches with our hair.
That's
And
so
so
true.
we can wear like, whatever, black
That's
shirt, blue
hilarious.
jeans, tan shoes, tan hair, and it works. Like your hair is an accessory.
Did you see the TikTok trend that was like blonde is my outfit?
No.
It is so funny because it's true. It's like these outfits are very, very basic. There's no style to it. It's just like a black dress or like black on black shirt and shorts. And like it's just the blonde hair flowing in the wind. And it's like
so
blonde
funny.
is my outfit. It was like a whole thing. I can't believe you didn't see it.
I love it. No, I like literally never go on TikTok.
Yeah.
I think that it would be cool for us to talk about hair because we have such different careers. One of the things that we've both had to really figure out and get good at is learning how to have our fashion and getting ready for the day be extremely fast. Because we did sports and a bajillion things in high school, we learned how to get ready in like 15 minutes.
Less even, because the bell would have already rung for class and you were still literally like sweaty from practice and your class is starting in 10 minutes and you have to commute also.
Yeah.
So it would be like change clothes as fast as you can, throw on just the smallest bit of like makeup you could if you had an extra 60 seconds and like sprint to the next class where you were just going to get hot again. It was a college campus basically. So we'd like sprint across. It would be so far to get class to class.
Yeah. So they like redid it whenever I got there, and
But it was still huge. It's a 5,000 kid school.
It's
6,000
a really
now.
big school.
But yeah,
But I
you're
remember
right.
you talking about that, and they still had like some trailers too, like outside the school whenever I was there, and it's crazy because sometimes the teachers are just unapologetic about it and like, you're tardy.
What did you do for your hair to make it like quickly ready for the rest of your day?
Well, I had no strategy then. Like I just looked gross.
I just looked gross.
I
It's
just
fine.
showered. But what I've learned is, especially being someone who has to work out often, like twice a day now, is the power of the slick back. I literally have it in my bio. I have like advocate of salt and braid buns because
That's
the braid
so
bun has
funny.
been so life-changing for me. Obviously, I had a hair crisis. We get that. But having a hair wash day is actually something that is so important. Like being able to let your hair get dirty for a few days.
Okay.
And
How many days do you leave it?
I leave it like 2 to 3, and I still shower.
Yeah.
But I'll just use conditioner. And
Oh, you get your hair wet.
yeah, no, like I have to. I'm sweaty. Like I can't just not get my hair wet. My head is sweaty from working out. So I have to get my hair wet, but I don't want to shampoo it every day because it's not good for your hair health. So I'll go in and just put conditioner in my hair. And then obviously it looks a little darker / greasier for the next day, but I can just put it in a slick back, which is great for working out and actually is in style right now, which is really convenient for me. But it's been really awesome because then on the third day, whenever you do end up washing your hair, it's like you just did a treatment for 2 days. And
That's
it's
so
so
true.
fresh and clean. And it's been a nice little routine for me to get into and also save me a bunch of time while being able to navigate having to shower every day without shampooing my hair every day.
I guess the hack for you girlies who aren't running 10 miles and sweating a lot like me.
The majority of the world.
Yeah, the majority of the world. That was a little confusing. The ones who aren't running a lot, because I'm not running a lot. The ones who are running a lot, listen to Emily's hair hack. But if you're getting super sweaty every day, then and you want to wet your hair completely and do the conditioner in it, slip back bun, perfect. But for me, I don't even get my hair wet because I run like a mile and I'm not even like hot. So I finish my mile and then I'll put my hair up in a bun or a clip or something.
Yeah.
And then it's more of a figuring out how to just keep my hair from looking. So like dry shampoo is important. And then also I do a lot of, if it's just not falling right on your face and you can tell your hair just sits differently on your head on
sure.
day 1, day 2, day 3. Cause I try to go like three days is ideal for me too.
Yeah.
Then it's use headbands. So I've started using a lot of headbands because then it's like the front part of your hair doesn't need to move at all. And it still looks cute. You know, you dry shampoo, and the headband can be the sandwich method too.
Yeah.
So I have like a brown headband and then I have
coming
a blue
together.
and white headband and I need to go get a black one. But like that's a newer thing that I've started incorporating in on the fashion side is having your headband be another piece that matches your outfit.
Yeah. Have you seen the like zigzag headbands that are becoming popular right now?
I have, And I just think it looks a little young for me.
Yeah.
I think they're cool, but in the same way that I'm like, I think it's so cute to have like the straight up braids. You know, when you go to Cancun, Cosmo, whatever,
Yeah.
they'll do the little
like 6
braid
corners.
rows.
Yeah.
I think it's so cute, but again, dress for the job you want. That is not on brand for me.
Yeah.
Like that is not, and there's so many things that I think are cool and that I love that I've had to do my best to not confuse the brand, because it's so annoying, and I wish it wasn't this way, but in country music or in any entertainment industry, when you are the product, you have to think about not confusing your consumer pretty much constantly.
Yeah.
And
You are the brand.
You are the brand, and people look at my social media, they see me as a person, but they're also going to judge everything I do as a person in its relation to my music. And I think some things they're okay with you being, you can have multiple facets of your life, but if I'm really confusing them on the fashion side of things, they're not going to think I'm authentic or genuine in who I am. And I know you shouldn't necessarily pick based on what other people are thinking, but it's so different when it's quite literally your job. And your running success has nothing to do with other people's opinions of you. It has to do with how fast did you run?
Yeah.
There's a very different spectrum there. My entire career is based on how did I make someone feel?
Yeah.
How did my song make them feel that day? And how did them looking at my wardrobe, is it relatable to them? Or are they like, that's so, I could never wear something like that.
Yeah.
Or I could never. It's so interesting that
Yeah.
it's taken me a while to piece these things together, because I'm just a kid like everybody else. And we're like, I just want to wear fun things and explore. But the more I've realized that every single piece of my life is actually part of my music, I've had to be so much more intentional about it. And it's brought me peace. Surprisingly, it actually has eliminated more of the stress, because my decision making is just, I have clear direction now.
Yeah.
If this doesn't feel, on brand for Julia Cole, then it's probably not something I should wear, even though I think it's super cute.
Yeah. It's funny because even if you aren't in the entertainment industry, I feel like that to an extent can even be super helpful for someone that is just, has a normal corporate job and is trying to eliminate that element of stress. Like you're saying, it's brought you so much peace to have figured out what your style is. And that doesn't mean that your style can't evolve in 5 years, but when you have so many different options, it can just be a little bit overwhelming.
I started saying this earlier, and I think we just got off on a different conversation. But when I was in high school, going to college, left the parents, was like, I can do whatever I want, be whoever I want to be. And at that time, there was a part of me that was so excited that dad wasn't going to be yelling at me that your shorts are too short, you can't wear this, that doesn't look right, whatever. And I have this burned in my head of every single time we went anywhere or did anything that was like a suitcase trip and we had to pack to go somewhere, dad would be like, you didn't pack jeans? How'd you not pack jeans? It's like the best thing you can possibly have in your pocket is like a go-to. If you need to go to church and you didn't expect it, or you need to do something with the family and didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't bring jeans. I'm sorry. And I just
it's also hot in Texas too, so
I have converted 100% to dad's
jeans.
advice.
Yeah.
I never fly anywhere without a pair of jeans. I don't care if it is 80 degrees and I'm flying to the Caribbean. There's going to be a pair of jeans in my bag, because I don't know where I'm going to go in between. Maybe something at the airport. It's so interesting the way I've changed on that. And I know everyone's going to have their different staple. Like maybe your staple is you're never going to go anywhere without your sweatsuit that just makes you feel cute and it's matching and it's like your favorite thing.
Yeah.
But I learned that for me, I went back completely to my Texas style that I saw mom wearing. Think about how many times growing up we saw mom in blue jeans and a white shirt with a cute little belt and little boots.
Little booties. Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to look like my mom.
Yeah.
And it's like it flipped once I got enough distance from being at home under their thumb.
Yeah.
To then realize I actually agree.
Yeah.
Like I was being obstinate for college and just being
like parents actually know something.
I'm going to wear cutoff shorts and I'm going to wear I still wore boots with everything, but I was wearing like flat bill hats and cutoff shorts and just trying to be.
It's been quite the evolution.
I was trying to be what I wasn't allowed to be in high school.
Yeah.
And just be free with it.
Yeah.
And I started to have this maturity when I started to think about, honestly, the kind of person that I want to marry, the kind of person that I want to attract.
Yeah.
What are they going to find attractive and where are their values? And they probably don't want someone whose booty's hanging out at the bottom of their shorts because that's not the kind of man that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So the kind of man that I'm interested in is going to be much more attracted to a conservative, stylish outfit that's appropriate, and he'd be happy to introduce you to his mom.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how even love and being in the dating world has made me think about fashion. And I am really excited to have realized I want to look like a woman, not a little girl. And I want to look classy, not sexy.
Yeah.
And I think there's a time and place for everything. But if you have to ask me to pick one or the other, ride or die till I am done, like I'm going to pick classy over sexy 10 times out of 10.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, it's so funny. I remember growing up, like Dad always, the quote that I thought you were going to say earlier actually was, why are you bringing more than one pair of shoes? Like, why do you think you need more than one pair of shoes? That's how it always was. I felt like growing up with tennis shoes, and it's just so the opposite of some people where they have almost a whole wall full of different sneakers.
I have so many.
Well, now, it's like part of your work too, especially with your boots. But it's been something that I kind of have to like break myself out of too. I mean, with running and Duke, we obviously got so many different pairs of tennis shoes because you have to rotate them every 350 miles, which is every 7 weeks for me, 7 weeks.
That is disgusting.
But yeah, so
oh my God, 350 miles for you is only 7 weeks.
Yeah, 50 to 60 miles a week.
I could cry.
But I mean, I'm currently cross training right now because of my plantar fasciitis, but I get to wear my shoes for a long time right now because I'm not beating them up.
So what are your goals over the next year fashion-wise, and what are the different kind of things that you have to dress for that aren't just obviously running?
I mean, I definitely don't have any specific goals besides just figuring out what I want my style to be. I definitely have speaking engagements. I just went to 5-star cross-country camp this past week in Rock Hill, New York, and that was so fun. Last year I went as well, and I brought all the campers copies of my book, and that was so cool to get to do. I didn't bring them again this year because a lot of the kids were there last year and then again this year, but I loved getting to go speak with them. And so different things like that is a great opportunity for me to be able to mix the business casual with the sporty side, and then just different interviews and creating content too for brands. Whenever I do brand deals with big companies, a lot of the companies who are looking to see if they want me to work with them will go look at past deals and see what I'm wearing, how I'm presenting myself, and kind of what my brand is. Like you said, it's a business card. And so dressing for the job you want to have, getting higher quality pieces. This dress is actually from Aritzia, and that was like the first big girl shopping trip that I did when I visited one of my best friends, E, in Atlanta. We went to Aritzia, and I loved all the clothes they had there. A lot of it was more business casual, so I got a couple different pairs of slacks, a couple nice tops, this dress, but it's like a thick, high quality fabric that makes you feel good too. And I love Aritzia. I'm definitely going to go back again soon, but I think that that's kind of the direction that I want to go with it all. And I definitely need to put more time in shopping and figuring out what exactly it is I like, but also looking at different professional athletes. A lot of them, especially in sports that are like not running, with basketball, every single tunnel before the game.
It's so cute.
They do a photo shoot.
I am here for the tunnel walks.
Yeah, so
it's like my entire news feed.
Yeah, it's become a big part, especially of women's sports.
Yeah.
And I love it. So yeah, I need to get on it.
We're doing a lot better now. You and I are both focused on actually ironing and steaming our clothes. We've gotten way better at it.
I mean, you have I
You
have never
bought
done it
one.
once.
You had one shipped to my condo.
I bought it. Haven't used it
You
once.
haven't used it
No.
once yet? That's amazing.
Yeah, I remember Mom got us both steamers
Yeah.
a few years ago. Never used it. I've never ironed or steamed.
Oh my God. I travel with my steamer, which means it
Yeah.
gets beat up because it's in my suitcase getting
Yeah.
thrown around. So I've been through, I just broke another, it's like I'm about to be on my third steamer because I use them for so much. But it's interesting when you get into just like a slightly more business casual attire.
Like silks and
I just love linen. I'm obsessed with linen and anything that's like in that wheelhouse, and it all just it wrinkles
oh my gosh,
like
going
crazy.
to Greece, everyone just being in white linen.
Constantly.
I was like, this is so nice. Also takes away the decision fatigue. You just
Yeah.
wear white linen literally every day. Everyone looks amazing.
The wedding I went to was in Capri, Italy, and everyone wears white linen basically there. But I was
Yeah.
going to a wedding. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't wear white here.
What do people wear? Just
What am I
tan?
supposed to do? I wore a bunch of tan,
Okay.
browns,
Yeah.
and like
Oh,
I think
what a
like some
gorgeous
light
wedding.
blue stuff and blue stuff, but it was so hard because everything I own in my
Yeah.
closet, it's so funny I'm not wearing it right now, but literally my entire suitcase for that trip was like
That's funny.
beige.
Yeah.
Well, because
Oh,
the other
beige,
places
beige,
I went, like I could wear white when I was in Rome and when I was in Naples, so I still brought that stuff, but I was like, I need to have 4 days of outfits that are not white.
Yeah.
And this is hard for me to find in my closet because otherwise it's like I don't want it to look wintry. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on an island. I can't believe I didn't say this tip earlier because this is honestly the most important part of fashion for my performances.
Yeah.
You have to figure out what is actually comfortable for you.
Yep.
And your confidence is going to be so much higher if you're not worried about wardrobe malfunctions. And I've had the hardest time figuring out how to look cute and classy on stage, but also not be worried about someone seeing up your dress or your skirt or your
And sticky boobs not
sticky
working.
boobs falling out.
Yes.
We've talked about that on. I had a concert one time where I was wearing sticky boobs under a crop top. It was super hot. It was a music festival.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to like start performing. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, like I had to hold.
This is so good.
This is the most embarrassing
real.
thing that ever happened to me on stage was a performance in the summer. It was a music festival, massive stage with a catwalk, big deal. I had to basically catch my sticky boobs from falling out of my crop top while singing a song. So I'm holding and I'm like just trying to move this
Playing it
way
cool.
to hold the sticky boobs up with one arm, but not make it look like I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm holding the mic with the other hand. I finished the entire song. And I remember I went and walked behind the drum kit and I told my drummer, I'm just like, don't look behind you. And I let my arm come out and the sticky boobs just dropped to the floor behind the drum kit. And I went back out and performed the rest of the show.
That's
And
so
the
good.
shirt wasn't like see-through or white or anything like that. It ended up being
so it was
okay. It was like, but I was just like, what if that had happened and I couldn't catch it? Or what if this had been a white shirt or something? I don't know. It was just so stressful.
Way to play that off. Slay.
Thank you so much. I survived barely. But that's like, you can't wear something for your work and your job if you're not comfortable because it will inhibit your performance for what your actual work and your actual job is.
It's so true. The aspect of fashion, you're right. I can't believe neither one of us brought this
Crazy,
up.
right?
It's like what the whole main point is of figuring out your style is what makes you feel good.
Yes.
And it's, definitely lovely to wrap up the episode on the most important point. But like clothing wise, I think a lot of people, even with athleisure, people can put on like sweatpants and a hoodie and it's cute and fun. But if you do that every single day, sometimes it might not make you feel good. And so sometimes you might want to put on like a cute little matching set that's, biker shorts and a top or just something to switch it up. But whatever makes you feel good and feel confident. Like when my friends ask me, does this look cute? What should I wear tonight? It's never, oh my gosh, yes, that's so cute. It's, do you feel good in it?
Do you feel comfortable
Does
right
that
now?
make you feel confident?
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, then no. Like it's not important enough what other people think to override at all if it makes you feel good and if it makes you feel confident. Because
And we're going to do an
you won't
entire
enjoy the night.
We're going to do an entire episode on making you feel confident, like how to make yourself feel confident.
It leads in well to our next
that's
episode.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But I also, for me, shoes are a big part of that comfort level on stage, because there are cables and wires everywhere.
Okay.
So like, for example, these boots, these are Corral. They're like handcrafted in Mexico. Love these boots to pieces. They're short. They're a short heel. I am not worried.
Gorgeous.
I'm not worried at all about a cable underneath this shoe making me break my ankle and fall over.
Wow, yeah.
If I wear a boot that has a skinny heel or even a higher heel, it stops me from being able to jump off the stage if you wanted to do a jump, or run to something when it's, you know, part of just the high energy, if there is the catwalk on the stage.
Yeah.
And that's really sad to me, to think that my performance could be slowed down by what I'm wearing, but I'm still going to wear heels like that on the Opry stage.
Yeah.
Because on the Opry stage, I know this is not a sprint around performance. So it's really thinking about, what is the goal for your show
And the environment.
If it's a writer's round, I'm probably going to wear jeans, because people sit down, which means you're going to look straight up a skirt if you're wearing a skirt, or you're going to be constantly worried about what the sides of your legs look like against the chair.
Yeah.
You don't want it to look squished, I know this is definitely just a girl thing, because boys usually don't wear shorts that are that short, but girls get what I'm talking about here. And if I'm doing a writer's round where I know I'm going to be sitting, I'm just going to wear pants instead of like stressing about, or a longer skirt or something like that, where I'm not stressed about that specific thing.
Yeah.
And it's every different show now, I kind of have my blinders on, and it has helped me be faster in my decision making, because I'm like, okay, this is a summer festival. I don't even look in that part of my closet.
Right,
That's this part of my closet. Writer's round, none of that stuff is even part of the equation. What's over here? So that's functionality of your workwear is really important. And people who have to walk to and from work, having a shoe that's cute for both, where you don't have to bring an extra, is great. But if you can't do that, like Kristen, our older sister, she would just bring a pair of walking shoes, walk to work in them, and then have her cute shoes at work. But she didn't just walk around in ugly tennis shoes at work all day.
Yeah.
She brought cute ones for the actual work day.
Yeah. I think it's cool too, just how different the like wardrobe norms are based on your environment.
Right.
Like I would, leave practice with my team and we're all in spandex and t-shirts. And, we might go to the grocery store or something on the way home. And it's just so normalized to us because we just worked out for 3 hours in like spandex and sports bras, basically.
Right.
And then you go to the grocery store and you realize, oh, people don't just wear spandex out. Like that's not a thing.
This is like underwear. Oops. Yeah.
So it's so weird how just different things can become normalized in different environments, and being aware of where you are and how you're making the people feel around you, to whatever extent you want to take it into account, it can make such a big difference, which is so cool. But
and make you feel better. Because then
Not feel
once
anxious
you
about-
feel the eyes on you and you didn't want them on you, you're just like,
Exactly.
ugh,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. And I think with makeup and style, when like I am having to go work out so much, there were definitely times when we were in like one of the thickest parts of the season and I hadn't put on makeup for almost 3 weeks. And I would just put in some eyebrow gel and like some mascara to go to practice. And it made me feel so good. And sometimes I'd even be more confident and better during my workout just because I felt better about myself and I was holding myself in a more, confident way. I don't know. Sometimes I think a lot of people complain about makeup, especially mascara, but when you start viewing it as a tool and like a blessing that we get to have instead of something that you have to do.
Well, it's to look fancy, not to look pretty.
Exactly.
As you've said before.
Bring it back.
And I don't know how much we, like, I think we can leave the makeup for another episode because we can talk a ton about that. But I loved you bringing up putting in a bare minimum on certain little things that just make you feel presentable. And this one we both learned within the last year, but like brushing your eyebrows, it's so funny. I went 2 decades not doing that.
Girl, same.
For my life. You know what I mean? Like we start out as kids, you just don't think about it.
Everything I know about style is from you. So
no, you started doing the eyebrows first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I brought this one.
You win.
Go me.
You did the brows first. And I think it was also just like a trend online where
Yeah,
it
for
became a
sure.
thing. And I was like, this does make me just feel like I did something this morning. And it's not just that. Like I'll usually have even if I'm not dressing up and looking cute that day and I'm going to wear athleisure, like leggings and a workout top, I will have like at least a lotion on my skin so it doesn't feel dry and it like still has a little bit of glow to it. Like just it takes you 10 seconds. I'll put that little lotion on, brush the eyebrows, and then I just perpetually in my backpack, which we talked about on our travel hacks, like my backpack has all my needs basically. I have a lip gloss that just like it's a clear lip gloss. It sits in there. It's always there when I need it. And for some reason, those little bare minimum things really do just make you feel cleaner. Even though it's not any cleaner than before, it feels like it
Makes you feel good.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah. I started using a lip oil actually that I got in a little bridesmaid box, and I've loved it. It just looks a little more juicy than like normal chapstick. And one thing that I definitely want to say, I know we need to wrap up and get to our book club and Q&A, but jewelry too. I cannot emphasize enough how much wearing jewelry, even when I couldn't wear makeup because I was going to do a hard workout, made me feel good. And I'm so grateful that in the track world, you can wear jewelry because I basically wear hoops every single day. It's hilarious that I'm not wearing hoops right now as I say that. But it's whenever you can't wear makeup, sometimes I like to wear even like more jewelry because that's how I get to express myself because we're going to be, you know, running for 2 hours or whatever. But especially when you get on the track, it's almost been turned into, I'll say that again. It's really cool seeing how a lot of these women who are competing in the Olympics, and whenever I go to USA, it's competing against all these amazing athletes. Everyone has their own style, and you can express that through your jewelry too. But I do, like every single morning I wake up, hoops are in. Like I don't go a day without wearing jewelry, and I think that that's something that I get these super inexpensive little $10 very thin hoops from Etsy. And they weigh basically nothing. So I can wear them when I'm running. If one falls out, I'm not upset. And I order like 5 pairs at a time. And they also can get dirty from me working out. I think that's a big thing too with working out is worrying about your jewelry tarnishing or getting messed up. And so that's been a big thing. I just remember seeing a girl whenever I was a freshman in college at a meet. She had no makeup on, but she had these really pretty hoops in, and it just clicked. I was like, oh, you can do that. Like you don't have to be wearing makeup.
You're
to wear
so cute. It literally
earrings.
kills me. Oh my gosh. We have very different needs here though. Cause like we've said, our fashion, our jobs, our needs, very different. My jewelry is not something that I have to spend any time thinking about. I'm in the same rings every day. I wear the same watch every day. I wear the same earrings. I wear the same necklace. And if I'm doing a fancy performance or a CMT red carpet, yes, we will redo all my jewelry. That is a minority. I'm usually wearing outfits that my staple jewelry pieces will always go with. But I buy really nice jewelry.
Gotcha.
It is expensive. It is real. It's like, this is stuff that I want to wear every day. And the only piece that I have is like more functional over style is actually the watch. But it's because I was wearing that Apple Watch every day, and it started showing up on accident in my album art and in music videos and in things because I just forgot to take it off. This one,
your watch is gorgeous. So
I bought it specifically to be a smart watch that is still stylish. And this is the Garmin Lux style. And you probably can't see it on the camera, but it's actually a smart watch. So like the electronics come up on it when you turn it a certain way.
Guys.
It can still track my workout, my heart rate, all those things. But it's gold. It's a rose gold top with a gold band, and I got the band separately, and it's really pretty. So I feel like I'm still getting the functionality out of it, but it's not going to ruin something if I accidentally leave it on, whereas the Apple Watch did for me. And I know every person has different style needs. We are giving you this advice as people who don't know fashion that well. Like this is just what works for us. We're not even talking in the slightest amount about what a real like stylist or fashion expert would give you advice on, because they're going to probably say, oh, there's all these rules to what types of shoes you wear with what types of purses and what. We don't do any of that. We're literally just thinking about how can this get me through my job today
in the most efficient
way possible.
When you said the jewelry thing, I was like, I'm the exact same way. I wear the same jewelry every single day.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll switch the earrings. If
By
it's
the
for something
year,
fancier.
I might change it.
Yeah.
Like this necklace might be different than the one I was wearing last year, but it was probably still a gold chain, just a slightly different one.
And that goes back to the decision fatigue too. Getting jewelry that kind of all matches and is something that can kind of go with anything, whether it's just gold or like this has little white beads in it. I got this in Greece,
so cute.
actually.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I think it's time for the book club and Q&A.
I'm ready.
You go first.
Okay.
What is Julia Cole's book for this week?
This is the first time I think so far that I've done this, but I am sticking with the same book. I'm on Harry Potter book 4.
Okay.
And we're still in the Goblet of Fire. It's a long book. Yeah. I'm still going, and I've gotten a lot further in it, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's actually funny. I've been listening to it mostly on my runs. Cool. So, because I haven't been, I've been in Nashville a lot more this month because my tour starts up again in a few days.
Hanging out with me.
Hanging out with you. Best. It's literally been the most fun thing ever. But my touring hasn't been as much, which means I've had less travel time on airplanes and in long commutes, different places. And that's usually when I get a lot of my book time in, audiobook or physical hard copy reading. I don't just spend 3 hours sitting in my bed at night because I have work that I'm doing. And when I'm in town, there are people I want to catch up with that I haven't seen. Mm-hmm. So the only time that I've really been getting in this book for the last 2 weeks really has been my mile a day, which is only a few minutes, it's a few minutes in the morning. But I really enjoy it. It makes my mile go by so quickly because I'm wrapped up in the story. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm a nerd for that. I know I'm like such a weirdo for listening to an audiobook for a short little run. But it's just... it makes me excited to go on the run because I get to hear the next piece of the story. Yeah. So I'm still on book 4.
That's how I am with cross training. I watch Netflix during it.
Oh, that's good.
So it makes me look forward to working out because you get to enjoy your book or enjoy your show.
That's awesome.
I love it.
What book are you on this week?
So I'm also going to repeat my book from last week, the Live Your Life Devotionals book from Sadie Robertson. It has been awesome. I've loved seeing the new devotionals every single day. And I got one last week that was Sing Your Song. And it was all about figuring out whatever your passion or talent is and really leaning into it, chasing it, and just going into that scary path. And one of the things that it spoke about was this theme of whenever you do start to have influence, you're going to attract critics. And I remember telling you about it because
it was my favorite thing that you've told me this whole week because I was like shook by it.
I read it out loud to you.
Yeah.
And it was just so applicable to both of us because we're trying to grow on social media. It's part of our jobs. And with influence, you do get critics. And I just loved the way that she spoke about that and just kind of brought up how even Jesus's first followers had a ton of critics whenever they were trying to go out and preach the Bible. And it was just really cool to hear her reaffirm that you can't be taking in everyone else's opinions and living your life based on that.
Social media is so difficult for the bullying side of it.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that quote totally, I feel like that quote makes me feel so much better. About the bullies because people don't criticize someone that they've never heard of. They don't criticize someone that hasn't come across their path or across their page. And if you're coming across this many people's platform, just your sheer odds of someone not liking you or not liking what you're saying are high because you have influence. Yep. And people want you to change your opinion because they think your opinion matters because your opinion is getting spread out to so many people. And that's a cool and dangerous place to be. You just have to get thicker skin if you want to be influential and you want that responsibility, because it is. If you become people's role model, you don't want to shy away from the truth for things, but you got to develop the thick skin because you got to stand by the things you say. And you can't backtrack after you've said it, or if you can try, but it's the internet. You're going to have a hard time doing that. So you just got to be ready to wear it. If you're going to say something, stand by what you've said.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. We both repeated our books this week. And I think that was actually so real for this to happen, because we both didn't talk about that before this episode. And we both just have been really busy. And we had a conversation earlier today, or maybe it was last night. We were just like, I really feel like we've been living our life. We've been doing
all over
life in a genuine way that isn't so stressed about accomplishing things. Like, we got pedicures. We went to the movies. I went and saw family in Louisiana and
You
Texas.
went on a work trip in Houston. I went on a work trip in New York. We've been all over the place, but still having balance and peace and hanging out.
Going
It's
to
been the
brunches.
best. Yeah.
And it's a gorgeous experience for me. And I'm sure you're experiencing that too, but I can't speak for you. I literally have had the best time doing the normal things. Yeah, I do cool, crazy industry, career related things all the time, but it makes it that much more special when I get to go spend the night at my friend Morgan's house and we just have a girls' night.
Yeah.
Or you and I go get pedicures with Bailey.
Yeah.
Or go to church. Like, we went to church this Sunday and it was just us 3 girls, you, me, and Bailey. We had so much fun just talking on the way there and on the way back and experiencing, the scripture together and just getting to kind of sit in it and discuss that. That's a normal thing. People go to church every weekend. Yeah. But for me, I tour every weekend. I don't get to go on a Sunday with my friends real often. And so it was so fun to do. Like, my life right now, the most basic things are so romanticized, because I'm like, this is the beauty of life, or really the things that I feel like most people are experiencing, but they do it so often that they don't realize how cool it is. Even just going on a date, someone coming and picking you up, taking you out, you having a good time, you going home and talking to your girls about how much fun you had. Yeah. That's so cute. And it's so fun. I hadn't gotten to do that in so long. Yeah. So I'm in an era of romanticizing the little things.
Well, it's also, it's a precious period where, when you're on tour, you won't get to do these things. True. So you're getting to appreciate them to a whole new extent, because, this isn't something I get to do every single week for the rest of my life.
True. Very true.
We should do the Q&A. Let's do it. For Q&A this week, the question is actually, what are our most embarrassing moments of our careers?
We're both answering this one because that's hilarious. I'm just going to revert back to earlier up in the episode. Sticky boobs falling off on stage mid-performance.
You hit it well,
I never want that to happen again to anyone, even my worst enemies. That was terrible. It was so scary. What's your most embarrassing moment?
I'll say a couple of seasons ago, I learned how to hurdle with both legs in the steeple. So I could do the normal hurdles with either leg I went up to, and it made it easier for running through them. But then I went up to the water pit and tried to use my other leg. And I was like, there's no way that's happening. So I kind of stuttered and I was like, oh no. And then I just jumped over the whole thing and cannonballed in the water. And I have a video of it. And I ended up running fast a couple weeks later, so it was fine. But it was very embarrassing.
We gotta love a steeplechase.
I looked like a baby deer.
That's so funny. It was a good time. Oh my gosh, that's a great one. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to episode 11 of Hustle and Harmony. We hope you got some fashion tips, fashion ideas on just how to make yourself feel comfortable and confident in your everyday wear. And
next week, we cannot wait to talk about how to find your confidence as a woman.
We love y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, Colty.
Thank y'all so much for listening to this episode of Hustle and Harmony.
Please leave us a 5-star review or comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on socials at Julia Cole Music and at Emily Cole.
We'll love you forever either way, and we can't wait to see y'all next week.
See y'all then.